So let's get ready to do the second part of activity 1. Create an assembly drawing in Inventor. So let's look and see how I've done this. First of all, I've used a C-size drawing this time. Seemed appropriate with the size of everything. I've got a front view, a section view, and then from the section view, I've made my ISO view. And I did that because it's easier to see what each piece is from this view. You can see that's my housing, my end plate, my driven gear, and my drive gear. Okay, so and they're labeled in no particular order, probably in what I actually placed them in here. And so you want to place balloons to point at what it is, and that will create your bill of materials. And of course, then these are just assembly notes that are often on there. And I've put some reference, let me go ahead and make those bigger. Those are reference dimensions. They're just to give somebody an idea of about how big this is. Okay, the actual dimension is created by the parts. And so I'm not doing anything to make those dimensions. So these are references only. References only. Okay, so let's see if we can make that happen. Here I go. I've opened up my assembly and I right click and create a drawing view. And that's going to be the IDW. Remember, we're doing our standard DWGs from AutoCAD. So this is my Inventor one, standard IDW. I'm going to use the template. And that's a D size drawing. And I'll just put my front view in here and call that good. And now I have to do my work, right? And we're all getting pretty familiar with this. Change this to a C size drawing. Make it revision A. And I can leave this ANSI large one on there, but I tend to try to stay to the same one all the time. So I'll put my regular ANSI title block in there. There we go. And so now I've got this set, and I'll maybe move this over just a little bit more. And it's time to make my section view. Click, click, right click, continue. Put my section view over here. And now my projected view of that. There it goes. There's my click, right click, create. And I can move that around a little bit if I need to. So that's how I go ahead and create those. And remember this, I don't want to show the entire line. This doesn't even need to show up, so I'll double click on it and I'll backspace just so that it doesn't show up. So there we go. And you'll work on your spacing and all that. I really just want to show you how to place the views. I just did, add item balloons, part lists, and all that other good stuff. So item balloons are under annotate. And I balloon, but I'm going to auto balloon. Really easy that way. Select a view. I'll use this view over here. You can kind of see it. Add components. I have to highlight which components I want. Select placement. Now in this case, I think a vertical placement is going to look best. So I'll put them over here somewhere where the arrows can kind of get to where I want to go. And I'll apply. Now those aren't all that great looking. Okay, because I really can't tell what's pointing at what. Okay, so I may have to move these around a little bit. So this number 2 is okay. This one looks like it's pointing at my housing. It's number 1. So I can grab that and bring it up here and really make it point at my housing where it's really obvious that that's pointing at the housing. If I want it to be kind of, you can get that to move down into this middle, then it puts the dot on it, and it's even more obvious. This is just a matter of how you want it to be able to look. This one, again, it's kind of hard to tell, so I'll kind of make it stick right there in the middle. And you have to make sure that this doesn't change, that you're getting the right part. And my end plate, really, I think I'm going to put it up here in between those, and I'll get my end plate to be up here a little bit more. That's a little bit more clear to me. And maybe that'll move down a little bit so that it's spaced out a little bit better. Now I have a nice bit of viewing there. Okay, much easier to see. And if I want to, I can still even make this one come into the middle here. Now I can do it. There we go. Sometimes that's more obvious. Now, that's a little bit hard to see because those are at exactly the same angle. Excuse me. So I'm going to move my number 2 down so that it's just a little bit more. There we go. I just did all that to make it easier to see. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I can put my parts list on based on that view. And that looks okay. I can just put my parts list right on there. And then I have a little bit of fixing up to do. Okay, I think I want to bring this one in. And then I can make that one a little bit bigger. That one doesn't need to be very big either because we're going to put our part numbers in there eventually. We're going to replace this with the actual part number and put the description over here. The other thing I could do is leave this as the description, the part number, but I like to change those both. Okay, and then the last part is just my notes, and you know how to put notes on, right? There's leader text, and you can use the sample that I gave you. Oh, I forgot the revision. It'll be alpha, starts at A. And so there's your Inventor version.